What's going on YouTube? It's Brian from Best Everybody Calls. Once again, not a normal backdrop, best I could do. But this is a review on ECW Hardcore Revolution for the PlayStation 1. Now, there's a lot of background to this game. I don't know why, but when I got this, it was complete, but it has an NFL logo on it. Somebody must have either changed it or done something like that. But yeah, I love this game. As you guys know, Attitude is my favorite wrestling game of all time, and this is exactly the reason why. This gives me some fresh additions. Because this was released in January 31st of 2000, so it came out years after Attitude and Warzone, which are basically the same concept. It was developed by Acclaim Studios and published by Acclaim Entertainment, so I guess there's like two different things that were in Acclaim. So it's basically a whole down Acclaim game. It wasn't made by, THQ, anybody else, but THQ took on the wrestling games later on. This was also on the PlayStation 1, the N64, Dreamcast, and the Game Boy Color. So that's interesting, right? 1 to 4 players, just like everything else. It was the first professional wrestling game to be based on ECW, and the first professional wrestling game to be rated M for mature, which I was incredibly surprised about. Because on the back it says animated violence and strong language, and as in Attitude and stuff like that, it's the same concept. I don't have the actual case for Attitude, so I couldn't look. But there was a sequel to it, ECW Anarchy Rules, released 6 months later. It was basically the sequel. Had a lot more to it as well. I believe. I don't have it. It's an extremely rare game. It's up to like $50 just for the complete. It's like $12 just for the disc, and I don't have the kind of money to even just get the disc. And that's why I kind of just found some money laying around my house, surprisingly, and I got some of these games. But definitely, if I get a job, I'll pick some more up, or just get some money for a holiday or something like that. But people reviewed and criticized this game for being a copy. Quote-unquote copy of Attitude and Warzone, and not being an ECW style game, just covering up the WWF and adding everything ECW, the themes, wrestlers, and so on. But that's basically what it was. I really can't say more to it besides the fact that it kind of was a ripoff. Then again, Acclaim made it along with Attitude and stuff, so it's kind of their thing. They didn't really want to do much to it. And ECW wasn't that big of a company back in the day. I personally don't know like half the roster on this game, more than half. But I'm aware of most of them. This game was kind of a downfall from games like Attitude and stuff, because I feel like they didn't do a lot of work on it, obviously, because like the only commentator was Joey Styles, and there wasn't even a lot of commentary from him. Just when you do certain moves, and it's just the same over and over with him. You got the same stuff going with him, so it's kind of annoying at times without commentary. The crowd chants are the same. You got crowd chants, weapons. The one thing that did catch my attention with the game was elimination style matches. Now, you didn't have those in the other games like Attitude and stuff. Like if you have a 4-way, fatal 4-way, triple threat, tag team, normally one person pins matches over. They got elimination style in this game with all those match types. And it's basically got the same match types. And the one thing that really caught my eye with this game, which was pretty fun, was the barbed wire rope match, which was a really cool addition. And if you play matches like Stable and stuff like that, where your health goes down really fast compared to a normal singles match, your health drains from full to red, and like once you touch the ropes, you can even hurt yourself with the ropes and the barbed wire. I'm not going to show a barbed wire match. I'm just going to do a singles match so you can get the entrances and full on stuff, because as you guys may or may not know, in these type of games you can only get entrances on one-on-one matches, I believe. And that was just a one-on-one match. You couldn't have like a hardcore match. You just had to have a straight-up one-on-one match to have full entrances, which was kind of weird. And the thing that only sucked about the entrances is if it's one-on-one and you wanted to skip yours and didn't see your opponents, you can't. It goes straight to the match. So that's kind of a thing in those games that aren't really that big of a deal. But yeah, I should probably stop talking and show you guys the gameplay, because once again, Attitude's one of my favorite games, and this is kind of the same concept. So let's get into the gameplay. Alright guys, so this is the ECW Hardcore Revolution. We see the little PlayStation intro. Yeah. So my last review in your house. I had some like PlayStation Network problems where my friends were getting on and off, and I apologize for that. I don't know if it happens in this video, but this is not a live commentary either. So, but there's a little Acclaim rainbow intro that they had. So that's the intro. I would have definitely liked to see them making a game back like a couple years before, because I would have definitely liked to see Steve Austin in ECW, and that would have been kind of cool. Anyways, here's the press start button. It shows some of the roster on it too. So I guess it's basically Attitude. You get your same menu concept. Not really too much difference at all. So, and same as the other game. Same as Attitude, you have to unlock cheat codes as well. Utilities is basically the same thing. It's basically like the options. And the one thing I noticed that is different is that when you can change the language of the game. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. When you change the language, usually on like Attitude, it goes from everyone to teen, but in this game, you can actually change it to mature, because this game is rated M, so I changed it to mature. Like I said, basically the same exact thing. Once again, I apologize for my friends coming on and off. I didn't even realize it at the time of recording. So, pay-per-view is the same exact thing. Tournaments, basically the same thing as well. Careers, the same thing. You can do tag team as well. And I didn't really play this game that much because I don't know much of the rosters as well. As you can see, the same exact game modes basically. And the thing that says elimination style, that little bullet thing next to it, that basically means that every match that has that next to it means it's an elimination style match. So when you go down, you can you see like the normal matches, and then there's the same matches after that, but they have the little thing next to it. So, and normally I would show like all the match types available up to 4 players on the top, as you can see, like I did in Attitude, but this is on my PS3, and I only have one controller for my PS3, so I don't tend to play too much PlayStation anyway, PS3 anyway. So, 8-man tag, I think that's new as well. I've never seen that in the other game. But other than that, you still got your stable matches and whatnot. And if anybody is unaware what a stable match is, it's basically 4-on-4 but one person comes out for each team at once, and then whenever all 4 of each team except for one are eliminated, the one team wins. So basically like a gauntlet match, but all together. So I'll show the roster off in a bit here, but as you can see, it's the same exact thing as Attitude. So I'm just gonna go into an exhibition mode and do a one-on-one. I'll tell out the people that I do know, because I don't know very much. I know like maybe a fourth of the roster, but there's Mike Awesome that I know, Balls Mahoney, Just Incredible, Dawn Marie, Tommy Dreamer, Jazz, which was in WWF, Raven, Rhino, RVD, Super Crazy, Sabu, Spike Dudley, Lance Storm, Tajiri, and that's basically all I know. So once again, I don't know I know most of the roster, but not all of it. So yeah, so that's basically the roster. I'm just gonna pick, most notable people: Tommy Dreamer and RPG. So the match happens. The one thing that's new compared to Attitude is a barbed wire ring rope match. And anything, if anybody does or does not know, even if it's a tag team match, unless it's a straight up one-on-one, no map changes, you don't get entrances. So I just do a regular one-on-one match because I want to show up the entrances and whatnot. So simulation, I don't know why they would even put that there. 'Cause that's basically just, I think that's just CPU. But as you can see, you can do a custom arena, just like Attitude. And the only announcer in this game is Joey Styles, if anybody was not aware of that. So I just go ahead and start the game whenever I do. I don't know what I do here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, there we go. So entrances are basically the same thing as Attitude as well, so you guys will see that. For anybody that may or may not know, if you skip like the first person's entrance, it actually skips the second one as well. So I just wanted to point that out. But they also do talk smack in the beginning as well.
It's time to innovate some violence on you.
Call me what you will, Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View, Mr. Friday Night Hate. I'm the whole f***ing show.
And the thing that's kind of cut down in this game is that Joey Styles is the only commentator.
Oil driver.
And he usually doesn't talk quite a bit either. He only really talks when like you do a move or something. The crowd's just the same, they do shits. Move list is the same as well. Not much of a difference whatsoever.
Player 2 standing there, Dave.
So yeah, there's really no difference between this game at all and anything else. Because I mean, this is basically the same thing as Attitude. I think Acclaim just decided to sign a contract with ECW. So I'm just kind of showing off some gameplay, I guess.
The whole effing show is taking it outside the ring. RVD takes it to the outside. Off the rope. Player 2 is taking this fight to the outside.
You can also, get out of the ring, whatnot.
He's defenseless.
Same as any other attitude game.
Rob Van Dam on spaghetti legs right now.
Rob Van Dam is the man.
RVD, he's out on his feet. Come on. Rob Van Dam can't get up.
So yeah, really nothing at all. Anything different.
Hey. Player 3 is taking it outside the ring. Player 2 can't keep his hands up. He's taking it to the outside.
Okay, well, there's also running interferences, which I probably should have mentioned.
Can't get up.
And I don't really understand why I'm the one that's... am I bleeding or no? I can't tell.
Oh,
Yeah, I am. I don't know. I'm barely even hurt. Why am I bleeding?
maneuver coming up. Axe handle smash. Axe handle smash.
Just trying to finish him off.
Into the rope. The whole effing show. Bang! He's staggering around.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, basically attitude. I can't express that any more than what it is. They obviously stand in the middle of the ring after the match, do their taunt. Same old thing. And right after the match, just like attitude, you can see how much damage you did and check all the stats. It's basically the same thing as attitude. So, yeah. No difference at all. So basically, that's my, look at this, creative wrestler, same thing, same exact thing. But, yeah, that's basically the gameplay. So, let's just see my final thoughts. So that was it. That was Hardcore Revolution. Once again, it gives some fresh air from Attitude and Warzone. Obviously, I don't like it better than those games because there's not a lot to it, and I don't know half the things on it, so I'm not gonna say it's my near favorite, but it's definitely a fun game to have. And I'm surprised it's rated M. That's the one thing I'm going to point out. I never thought that they'd have a rated M wrestling game. And I don't know if this was the first and the last, but it was definitely the first. And I want to mention that, I never mentioned, but for the N64, PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, and Game Boy Color, that's the 4 systems it was on. For 3 of the 4, it was rated M. And what was really weird to me is that on the Game Boy Color, it was rated E for everyone. Now, why would they do that? Because I've personally never seen gameplay of it or anything to be able to judge it, but that's just kind of, sketchy having a rated M game go to rated E in the Game Boy, because, I mean, what if there's, like, 7, 8-year-olds out there who watch it? I mean, I'm not saying that they watch it every night. Maybe they could have, I don't know. What if there was kids out there that their parents wouldn't let them get the rated M game, but they let them get the Game Boy Color game? It sounds a little sketchy, something like that. Something would catch my eye like that back in the day. But once again, I don't know why it was rated E. Maybe it was just something to it. Maybe there wasn't a lot to it that actually had a rating. Maybe it was just like no blood, no weapons type stuff, no language. I don't know. I never played the Game Boy Color games to get into that. But the one thing that I did and have been talking for a while was getting the Game Boy games. Not the Game Boy, the GameCube games and the N64. Now, I do have a GameCube controller and not a memory card, but I can hook it up to the Wii, so I can easily record that. I don't have to buy a GameCube, stuff like that. I should probably get a memory card, if anything. But there's this local shop that I always talk about here by me that has, I'm sure they have older stuff, anything old. And I'm sure that they have, those games for GameCube and N64. So I was thinking about, getting some money, whenever I do get the money, pick up the GameCube games, because I really want to try the Day of Reckoning games and stuff like that, because that'll be kind of cool, and the WrestleMania games. See how those are, because those always seemed interesting to me. So, sometime I'll try to pick those up within the next couple months, along with an N64 and the N64 games, because there is differences between the N64 games and the PS1. And the one thing that I can really always remember is that the N64 game of Attitude compared to the PlayStation 1 version of Attitude, in the N64, they didn't have an intro to the game, and they didn't have the tribute to Owen Hart in the beginning of the game, which was kind of, I call it saddening. They definitely should have kept that in the game. That was kind of stupid for them to take it out, because, it was a tribute to Owen Hart, and they had it in the PlayStation 1, and I think the N64 was released after the PlayStation 1, obviously, because they wouldn't have just put that in. But, once again, I wanted to get those games, so, yeah, thanks for watching the ECW Hardcore Revolution review. I will show off the disc real quick. Same thing as the cover. If you guys like this review, once again, always subscribe, help me out, get me going. Let me know what you guys want to see as well, because I always I'm recording reviews on my own, like those WCW games, and I just don't know what else to record. I have all these other games, and I want to see. So I also got a playlist on my channel of what reviews I have if you guys don't want to just scroll around my channel, so looking for reviews. So go check that out if you'd like. Once again, comment, let me know what you guys want to see, and as always, subscribe. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys like my ECW Hardcore Revolution review for the PlayStation 1, and I'll see you guys later.